My name is Gary Simon Warrian Jagamara. My bloodline from this country is Biripi, New South Wales, and Walpuri, Central Australia. My message to all people and everyone: we are living, breathing soul, travelling through the sea of space within this vessel that we have embodied. We are all great and powerful. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. When we believe we are human, we are limited to the things that human can do. Once we comprehend that we are all great and powerful spiritual beings and supreme beings, we can be supreme. State of mind becomes state of body. State of body becomes reality for every individual. In the beginning, we came from the stars, came to this place as gardeners of this Eden that we call the world. What a lot of people use to separate us and say they are different is what makes us the same. For we are the gardeners of Eden, the Eden of the world. For he or she who neglects their dead, neglects their newborn, therefore cannot be seen as a civilized human being, but as animal, flora and fauna. The first law of the gardeners: honor your mother and father. Bury your dead. First law of land ownership: he or she who owns the land is he or she who can claim the ancestors beneath the ground. It shows they were the gardeners. You put them in the ground, you become the next gardener. Separation from man from beast. If an old bull and a young bull walk a paddock, and a young man and an old man walk the same paddock at the same time, and the old man and the old bull die at the same time, the young bull will walk past the carcass, whereas the young man will put his ancestor to sleep in the ground. That is what separates man from beast. The first law of the gardeners: when we honor our mothers and fathers who have stood before us, we honor the spirit and the consciousness and life force of all things by showing it respect and showing it thanks, and putting the physical vessel to rest where it came from, back in the mother, in the ground. Rather than look at the things that make us different, look at the things that make us the same. In my culture, I'm a Jagamara, morning star. I am Wana, snake dreaming. My fathers, my sons and daughters are frogs. My wives are the Pleiades, 7 sisters, who created the Milky Way. In animal form, they are the budgerigar and the owl. My mummy and my uncle are the crow. We claim all living things as our brothers and sisters, mothers and fathers, aunties, uncles, how can we not claim each other as human, as the gardeners of Eden? We are a consciousness. Consciousness within me is the same and joined to the consciousness as every one of you. The only difference is the physical vessel that we are in at this moment. The beautiful thing about having such a great mind is we can come to comprehend. Look at where we've come from. Learn from it. Look at where we stand today with that information and work out where we want to go for tomorrow. For we are the dream keepers of today, dream holders of yesterday, and the dream makers of tomorrow. It is up to us to pass on this information to each other. Not to tell each other we care, but to show each other we care. Don't tell me you love me, show me you love me. Because only then I will truly comprehend. Only then. We are asking all nations to come together as the gardeners. We are asking all nations and all faiths of this world to recognize our ancestors as human. Over 35 countries in the world still hold our ancestors as exhibits. They have not been led to rest. We wish to claim the living from all nations. We ask you to claim our dead as your long-lost brothers and sisters, mothers, fathers, aunties and uncles, so we can pass the name from those who have fallen to those who are standing today. Truly bring our cultures together. There is one thing to talk and there is another thing to walk. We are asking for action. We are asking for people to stand in front of us. Allow us to bring our ancestors who have been scattered like stones and bring them back for repatriation, but not to be buried as flora and fauna, but as living, breathing souls, as gardeners of this Eden, as humanity. We're asking the faiths of all nations that have come. Claim our ancestors as yours, your long-lost brothers and sisters. For he or she who has the power to name the name of the Great Spirit that dwells within the sacred waterhole before birth, they are to be recognized as the lost children of God. I am Jagamara. My daughter is Napurula. If I have a son, he will be a Jupurula. And their children will be Jagamara Nakamara. And their children will be Jupurula Napurula. And we know the names 10,000 times down and 10,000 times up. This is the great south land of the Holy Spirit, where he or she has the power to name the name of the Great Spirit that dwells within the sacred waterhole before birth. We are the lost children of God. We are the gardeners. We are the beginning. We are now asking to welcome everyone back to this place. For this is the only country still today where all nations reside without war. And all ancestry line since 1788 have been gracefully put in the ground. And yet, in order to visit our ancestors, we need to travel to 35 countries in the world. We are asking for solidarity. We are asking for love, kindness, caring, sharing, and understanding, and forgiveness for all the past, for each other. We are asking for hope. Hope can only come to every individual when the acts are seen, not heard. Words are the sounds to communicate about the things, but the actions are more than just sounds. The word water is the sound we use to communicate to each other, to express the thing that we drink or we bathe in. But no matter how many times we say water, it will not quench our thirst. It is just a sound to describe it. And it's the same with the great Creator. The word is the sound to express to each other within language the thing that we talk about. Whether we use the sound God, Buddha, Allah, Biyami, Jukurpa, they are all merely sounds to communicate to each other about the thing that we call the Creator. The Creator is in all of us. It is the air we breathe. It is the space between the stars. It is the space between all things. Many people look at the things within the space rather than looking into the space between the things. But there is more space than there is things. If we look into the space in the sky, we see starlight. We see the moon and a day. We see the sun. We see clouds. But there is more space. When you use a high field microscope and you look into a stone, you see the atoms, you see the molecules, all being held together by a frequency, space. There is still more space within stone than there are particles that make up the stone. When we look into the human body, there is more space than there is particles. We are related with space, intrinsically entwined in space. Maybe when we come together, we can stop the separation of things within space that we call black, white, Chinese, African. For it is space that we all reside in. And this physical vessel that we have embodied to travel through this sea of space, to experience, depending on what we bump into, will depend on our experience.
Unfortunately, one of the things that did produce been put on a bit of a pedestal by the rest of the world. But like the did for us,
My words
ceremony without the
are not written,
ceremony without the song,
have never been rehearsed.
and those sort of things. And
I've never read and write. I'm now teaching myself.
that's like teach people how
What I speak is what I feel,
this is a message.
what I have learned
He said, this is the people.
through the tongue of many.
If you can't speak our language, then
There has to be no colour,
disrespect our laws, because therefore you understand.
and my teachers have come from all parts of the globe.
I would never teach you how to make it.
And I have stood in countries where they have passed on knowledge which correlates with the information I got from this country. And I've had other people from other countries come and sit in this country and speak. And when I've spoken to them, and others of higher degree have spoken to them, it matches their story.
Just even like just one word, like because just trying to get like your idea,
The only thing that makes us different
it's like but we always like
is the way we think.
always say yo, yes or no. It's like,
And religion
but we'll say yappa.
is a powerful, powerful, powerful tool. It can bring people together or it can tear people apart. This is the generation and this is the place. We're asking those religions to come together, to bring each other together. It is the most powerful tool there is. It is the tool that allows us to tap in to the Creator of all things. No matter what sound we use to communicate to each other about the Creator. There is only one sun in our universe. There are many, many stars, only one moon. And we all accept that. And we all have our own name to call it, our own sound we use to speak about it. And this is accepted by all nations. We only ask that the word God, Buddha, Allah, Biyami, Jukurpa is the same. The word is not the thing. It is the sound we use to describe the thing. Onomatopoeia. We mimic the sounds of the environment to communicate to each other. How many different environments are there in the world? So therefore, how many different sounds have we mimicked in order to create how many languages? And our bodies have changed its own form and its shape to survive within the environment that it lays, that it sleeps, that it walks and talks and listens and created its own language from. For if there was only one word for the Creator, there would only be one land, one system of sounds. And we would all speak that sound for the Creator. No matter how many times I say water, I cannot quench my thirst. I need to get the substance of water and drink it to quench. Is the sound for the Spirit is the same. The Word is not the Spirit. Onomatopoeia. We have mimicked the sounds of our environment to communicate to each other. The only true name for the higher being is all of those names together. None can be denied. For the same right that we have to name our name of the Creator is the same right the rest of the world has. And we have no right to stop that. We have wronged by trying to stop it. And in our past we know people have used the name of the Creator to create such drastic things in our past. But we have learned from this. We have learned. This is a new generation, and we are in the time of change. We are the dream holders of yesterday, dream keepers of today, and dream makers of tomorrow. Depending on how we behave, how we treat each other, and how we speak to our fellow man, fellow woman, how we speak about ourselves, our family, our cultures, is what the next generation will hear. It's what the next generation will learn from. We are the teachers of the new millennium. Technology has come so far, 225 years, from horse-drawn carts to flying to the moon, travelling across the sky, underground, under the sea, across the land at extraordinary rates. This technology didn't come from nowhere. It was always here. All of our countries in the world have painted and carved images of star people, others who come down. We know, we are aware there are others. As a great man once said to me, David Wynne Miller, no war has ever been created from mathematics. Every war has been created by the fraudulent conveyance of language. It's up to us to right the wrongs now. Up to us to pass on a new story. A story of forgiveness of the past. A story of solidarity together and moving forward tomorrow with each other. We stand not above, we stand not below, we stand beside as the gardeners of Eden. I love the spirit within you, for it is the spirit in me and the spirit of all things. Blessings.